Welcome to the Line Life podcast. I'm Jeff Postlethwaite, Senior Editor of T&D World, and today we're bringing you more stories of the grit, courage, and inspirational teamwork that it takes to be a line worker.
Hello, my name is Amy Fishbach, and I'm the field editor for T&D World magazine and the host of the Line Life podcast. Before we begin today's interview-style episode, I wanted to invite you to become part of our Line Life podcast community by going to linelife.podbean.com or subscribing to the Line Life podcast in your favorite podcasting app. So far, we have released 120 episodes and have thousands of downloads on Spotify and also Podbean, and we'd love to have you as a listener and part of our community. The Line Life podcast celebrates the line trade, and I'm always looking for guests to feature on my podcast. If you're interested, please email me at amyfishbach@gmail.com with your comment on this episode or your suggestion for a future guest. I'd love to hear from you. Today, I'm honored to feature guest Michael Stremel, who retired from Midwest Energy, and he was also an International Linemen's Rodeo competitor. Before I feature my interview with Michael, I'm going to include a short part from an article that I wrote for the 2024 Line Worker Supplement, and that article was titled Cheers to 40 Years, and it was about the 40th anniversary of the International Linemen's Rodeo. Also, I wanted to let my Line Life podcast listeners know that the 2025 Line Worker Supplement is being shipped out to our subscribers and will be available at the T&D World booth at the International Linemen's Expo. So make sure you stop by, participate in the podcast recording, and pick up your copy of the supplement. You can also listen to audio stories narrated from the articles in the print supplement by going to linelife.podbean.com. I'll plan to narrate those in the near future. In the meantime, here's a section from my article in last year's Line Worker Supplement that featured Michael Stremel in the article about the history of the rodeo. The first time that Mike competed at the International Linemen's Rodeo as an apprentice was back in 1988. Michael Stremel was mentioned in a section called Focus on Safety, and I'll narrate that part of the article for you now. The International Linemen's Rodeo is all about showcasing the skills of the trade, but it's also about safety. From Wednesday through Saturday night of Rodeo Week, safety is always top of mind, and the International Linemen's Rodeo Association has volunteers to supervise safe work practices on the rodeo grounds. For example, Michael Stremel, Electric Operations Inspector for Midwest Energy Incorporated in Hays, Kansas, served as a safety observer on the sidelines at the 2023 International Linemen's Rodeo. His team, which included Bill Nolan and John Horeski, won first place in the senior division in 2014. I'm looking forward to this year's event, and it's great to see this continuing year after year to showcase the electric utility industry and the line trade, he said. I enjoy seeing the rodeo competition and watching line workers demonstrate their skills. It's amazing seeing how much the event has grown every year, and the ILRA committee and the volunteers are what keeps this great event going. During the Linemen's Expo, in which vendors showcase their tools and technology for the line trade, Stremel and Doug Flick will be raising money to support the Flick Stremel Linemen Scholarship Foundation with their third annual Lineman gun raffle. This year, the prize will be a Ruger 1911 in a .45 caliber, complete with a lineman engraving and a walnut display case. To get ready for the big day, he's attending planning meetings throughout the year prior to the actual event. He says he's thankful for all the past committee members who have given so much of their time to make the event what it is today. I am glad to be on board as an ILRA volunteer to help this event going and growing, he says. I'm looking forward to the 50th anniversary of this event. Now I'll feature an interview that I had with Michael Stremel at the 2024 International Linemen's Expo, where he and his friend Doug Flick had a table right outside the exhibit hall to raise money for the Lineman Scholarship Foundation and raffle off a gun. And he's planning on doing the same thing this October in Kansas City. So now let's listen in on my interview with Michael Stremel, who recently retired from Midwest Energy. I met Mike years ago when I first started covering the line trade, and I was out at the International Linemen's Rodeo grounds. I was always inspired by his passion and dedication to the Linemen's Rodeo and his desire to give back to the line trade. And I'm excited to share his story about how he got into line work, what he did after he retired, and then also his gun raffle that he has at the International Linemen's Rodeo, which he's planning to do for the 2026 event as well with his good friend Doug Flick. And the money raised from that raffle goes toward a scholarship at the International Linemen's Rodeo. So here's a little bit about the raffle at the rodeo and also about one of the men behind it, Mike Stremel. Michael, thank you so much for joining us for the Line Life podcast. To begin, can you share with our listeners a little bit about your career in the line trade?
I started out as an apprentice lineman in 1986. I had prior training in a journeyman electrician for a number of years. I got into the trade as a lineman. I went through a couple of apprenticeship programs that they offered through our company at Midwest Energy, a cooperative in Western Kansas. I worked as a lineman for 21 years and became a training manager over our electric apprentices, then eventually taking over our gas apprenticeship program as well, and did that for the remainder of my career. So I've got about 48 to 49 years in the utility and electrical industry.
That's fantastic. And then I heard that you went back to work after you retired from Midwest Energy.
I retired May of 2022. I was enjoying retirement. One of our managers asked me if I'd come back. I said, no, not really. I've enjoyed the retirement, but they needed somebody to oversee the contract crews.
Okay.
So we came to the table on a wage agreement, and I went back part-time for 29 hours a week on my own schedule, and it's been great. I am going to retire again at the end of 2024.
Okay.
And if they ask me to come back, it's going to be costly.
Right. It's good to have you back in the industry. Now, can you talk about what you'll be doing at the International Linemen's Rodeo? I know you've had a lot of roles out there on the rodeo grounds.
Okay, I've competed for a number of years. After retirement, I got on the committee. I was on the tool inspection committee. The last 2 years, I've been on the safety committee, and hopefully we don't get called upon because of an accident or an incident, but we are there as first responders to somebody in need of care if something should happen.
And how do you feel about the 40th anniversary of the International Linemen's Rodeo and how much it's grown over the years since you first started?
It is really amazing to see how it's progressed over the years. And I remember my first rodeo was back in, well, I forget the year now. I got to backtrack, but it was their 8th annual Linemen's Rodeo. And I've been there almost every year since then. Competed a number of times on a Journeyman team, very successful with that. But even if we've not been successful, it's just rewarding to see people from year to year that you've met and competed with, and hey, buddy, how you doing? Hey, brother, it truly is a brotherhood, and it's neat to see how the industry is growing and young people coming into the trade. So it's rewarding to be a part of that.
Absolutely. And then what would you say to our Line Life podcast listeners about the International Linemen's Rodeo Week?
I would say enjoy the trade. If you can, pay it forward, work safe, and enjoy what you're doing. Because if you're enjoying what you're doing, it's really not a job. It's another day of fun life.
That's very true. And then can you talk about the International Linemen's Expo and if you've seen anything interesting out there in terms of new tools or technologies for line workers?
I had very little time to walk through here today, but it has grown substantially over the years. Just to see the different vendors, the different tools and equipment. Other people are here promoting their businesses or utilities, trying to get people to come into their work line. And it's just amazing to see how technology has developed over the years with different tools and equipment for the linemen. It's an ergonomic environment now, and I'm sure that's impacted a lot of people not having muscle issues or things of that nature. So it's great to see the advancements.
And Michael, can you talk about the gun raffle that you and Doug have outside the exhibit hall?
Yes, this is actually our 3rd year of giving back to the industry, and we've decided to purchase guns through Historical Armory. And we've got lineman trade-specific engraving on the guns. This year we've got a Ruger 1911 45 caliber handgun, which has been going very well for us. The past couple of years, we've had some really good reception from the people out here, the crowd, and the industry as well, buying into those raffles, which help support our scholarship foundation. First year we did it, we had a $2,000 scholarship that we donated back to the ILRA. They dispersed to the recipients that they award through their scholarship foundation. Last year, we gave two $2,000 scholarships back to the industry and the ILRA. And again, this year, we're giving back two more $2,000 scholarships as well. We've already got guns to purchase for 2025 Scholarship Foundation and a 2026 Scholarship Foundation. So it's been very well received. The people like it. We've actually had some other items through Buckingham, Klein, and Milwaukee that have donated complimentary tools for our drawing, which helps draw people in. And so there's multiple chances of winning different tools and equipment. This year we had another gentleman partnership with us, and it's been a great effort and been very well received in the industry.
That's great. And now can you talk about the Lineman Scholarship Program for those of our Line Life podcast listeners who may not be familiar with the scholarship?
The Lineman Scholarship Foundation, again, it's run through the ILRA. There is a link on their website where a potential student that's interested in trade school wants to get in and looking for assistance. They fill out an application. The Rodeo Committee has a scholarship committee that reviews those applications. They award the scholarship to those individuals where people like us give back to that trade. This year, they're giving out 20 scholarships.
That's fantastic. That's the highest they've ever done, right?
Like I said, the trade and the career has been good for Doug and I with our scholarship foundation. We wanted to give back to help some young individual get in a trade school. So we're paying it forward with these scholarships.
Michael, how do you feel about being able to give back to the line trade after working in it as a career?
It's rewarding. It's great to see young individuals. A couple of years, well, actually in our first year, a gentleman came up to us and he asked, what's the scholarship fund for? What's the raffle about? He said, well, the career was good to us. We wanted to give back to the industry. He said, well, what's the raffle about? So we told him what the tickets were. He said, give me $100 worth of tickets. Because if it wasn't for a scholarship, I wouldn't be here. So
right?
It's good to see it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's really neat to see the people receptive of our scholarships and giving back to the trade and taking an interest in what we're doing.
And Michael, I know you've been involved with the International Linemen's Rodeo for a long time. What are some of your favorite memories from over the years?
I would have to say the actual competition that we competed in and taking first place in the senior division when there was 26 teams to compete against.
I bet that was quite an honor getting up on that award stage.
So it was really an honor. And whether we're on the stage or not, it's still an honor and a privilege to be here. And I hope everybody's got that same attitude, just being in the presence of fellow brothers and women. There's actually women in the trade now.
There are, yes. I've seen more and more women getting into the line trade, which is awesome.
Doing well, too. So kudos to whoever's out there doing the line work.
Michael, thank you so much for joining me for the Line Life podcast. I really enjoyed talking with you.
All right. Appreciate it, too. Thanks, Amy. Thanks for all you do with the trade.
Oh, you're welcome. And thanks for all you do to give back to the industry. I look forward to seeing you next year. To learn more about the International Linemen's Rodeo, make sure that you check out the International Linemen's Rodeo on social media, on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And also make sure that you check out their website, which has the agenda for the 2025 Safety Conference and the schedule of events and the results from last year if you want to check those out. And again, make sure that if you're in Kansas City for International Linemen's Rodeo Week, you come by the T&D World booth where I'll be there doing recordings with guests for upcoming episodes. And I can't wait to talk to you. Again, good luck preparing for the 2025 International Linemen's Rodeo, and I look forward to seeing you and your family soon.
This episode of the Line Life podcast was written, recorded, and edited by Amy Fishbach. It was produced by Jeff Postlewaite. That's me. To listen to past episodes, visit www.tdworld.com/podcasts or find us at Podbean. You could also drop us a voice memo or message at linelifepodcast@gmail.com with your comments on this episode. We'd love to hear from you. Please follow this show on Podbean or your favorite podcasting app to be updated when new episodes are released. Thank you for listening.